Hello, I'm Alison Orth, Director of Clinical Trials BC, part of Michael Smith Health Research BC. I am excited to be here today to announce the recipients of the 2023 Clinical Trials BC Awards. As part of BC's Health Research Agency, our mission at Clinical Trials BC is to maximize the health, educational, and economic benefits of clinical trials for all British Columbians. As a provincial organization, our work and that of our award recipients extends across many Indigenous lands and territories throughout BC and Canada. We acknowledge with respect and humility that our Vancouver offices are located on the traditional, unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations. This year, we are presenting two recognition awards, the Leadership and Advocacy Award and the Service and Support Award. These awards are presented annually to individuals and organizations who have made notable impacts to clinical research and the clinical trials community in British Columbia and beyond. Thank you for joining us to honor these most deserving award recipients, and I encourage you to share the news widely with your communities and networks. We will begin the 2023 awards with the presentation of the Leadership and Advocacy Award from Jean Smart, our Regulatory Affairs and Quality Officer.
Hello everyone. It is truly my great honor to announce this year's recipient of the Leadership and Advocacy Award, which recognizes an exceptional leader and advocate for clinical trials at the provincial and national levels. Our recipient is a clinical trials leader who contributed 4 decades of work in clinical practice and clinical trials related activities in the area of pediatrics. She has made an extraordinary contribution to the establishment of formal pediatric clinical trial guidance and the advancement of pediatric ethics, quality, rare disease, and clinical trial data management efficiencies at all levels of governance. This individual is a strong promoter and advocate for the development of clinical trial and research networks in BC, Canada, and internationally, such as the Global Genomics Alliance, MyCERN, and BC CRIN, which is now known as Clinical Trials BC. She has mentored and inspired many clinical trial clinicians and professionals and has been an avid supporter of education and training for all research team members. On behalf of Health Research BC, Clinical Trials BC, and our entire research community, we are pleased to present this award to an exceptional individual, Dr. Anne Junker.
I have worked with Anne Junker for many years, both as a researcher. Certainly she's one of the founders of BC CRIN, which is the predecessor to Clinical Trials BC, and has been instrumental in leading pediatric clinical trials globally. I think the biggest impact is really having the industry and the researchers understand that pediatric clinical trials are different than adult clinical trials, and that they needed to be assessed as pediatric clinical trials. So it's really made a big difference in how clinical trials are designed, conducted, and analyzed. So we all join in to congratulate Anne Junker for being awarded the Advocacy Award from Clinical Trials BC, a global leader in clinical trials and truly deserving of this award. Congratulations, Anne.
Well, I was doing involved in trials in my practice, but I got involved at an institutional level when I was in hospital administration as Senior Director for Medical Specialty Services in Pediatrics. The diseases that children get and the number of children who get diseases is so small compared to the adult world. And invariably, clinical trials have to be done on a national, if not international level. So it creates a whole degree of complexity when you're dealing with a study that's happening at 22 sites across the country or internationally. And so that was a huge driver also for me and what I had to do, because it works best if people have an idea about the common structures and harmonized structures. I really tried to look at the ways to support people and improve the situation for research, especially clinical research with families, patients. I'm really pleased to be recognized for creating some of the building blocks that went into create the structure that's in place now with Clinical Trials BC. And along the way, I had the incredible opportunity of working with absolutely fabulous people. Just the dedication and the thoughtfulness and the work that people did in support of this. So I just really had a fun time and met some really terrific people. BC's a terrific place to work. I think having Clinical Trials BC in place with the services that are available and the consistency in the provision of those services is absolutely fantastic. So I think things look good.
My warmest congratulations and thank you to Dr. Ann Junker for her valued contributions to our clinical trials community. Next is our presentation of the Service and Support Award. This year's award honors an individual who has made distinguished contributions in clinical trial support and service to advance clinical trials in BC. Over the past 20 years, his work to develop secure data management and statistical analysis systems was instrumental in supporting clinical trials capacity and infrastructure building. By validating and leveraging accessibility to REDCap, he enabled clinical trial researchers with access to a qualified electronic data capture platform that meets strict regulatory requirements. Recognized nationally and internationally for his expertise, knowledge, and extensive contributions of clinical trial modules, processes, and training elements, his work continues to support hundreds of clinical and health service research initiatives in BC and North America. It is my great pleasure to present a Service and Support Award to Victor Espinosa.
I'm Cindy Triton, Director of Research at Island Health, and I'm absolutely delighted that my colleague Victor Espinosa is the recipient of the Clinical Trials BC 2023 Service and Support Award. He is a research capacity builder extraordinaire at the local, at the regional, at the national, and the international level. His contributions to research data management are not only around the tool that we call REDCap, which is a huge enabler in the way that he supports and optimizes it, but also as a trained statistician, he's helped so many researchers design ways of capturing data that are impactful and very specific to the questions that they want to ask. Victor, you are the Iron Man. You know what I mean by that. You have achieved so much. You've done so with perseverance and strength and caring. And on behalf of all of your colleagues at Island Health in the research department and beyond, congratulations on this fantastic recognition.
I have been involved in these areas for about 40 years. My background is in statistics and computer science. So data management is the intersection in these two areas. So it was natural for me to get there. I feel that what we do to support research or quality improvement or clinical trials, all sorts of things, are having an impact ultimately on patients, their health, the health service provided to them. And if you can contribute in a very humble, simple way, I'm more than happy with that. And there is a motivation. There is very valid motivation for many people, but I find that if I can contribute to our society for the good of everyone, and that is something that I also professionally I'm growing, I have been enjoying my job. And this is naturally not the outcome or the results or the work of one person. It's a team, and I really like that, and I want to acknowledge that. Very honored and humbly accept this recognition, this award from Clinical Trials BC, and this means a lot to me and motivates me to keep going and give back to our community.
Our sincere and enthusiastic congratulations again to Dr. Ann Junker and Victor Espinosa. As Director of Clinical Trials BC, I am thrilled to have bestowed these awards on two very deserving recipients. We thank you for your impactful and inspirational contributions to the clinical trials and research community.
I hope that you will take the time to congratulate the recipients of these awards in your own way and share the news widely. Thank you for joining us today, and see you next year.